Sexual intimacy in marriage can be scary. Most couples struggle to talk about sex when there's a problem. But today I want to get past all of that and start a new series. What do you do when one spouse feels unfulfilled in their sex life? Hi, thanks so much for tuning in. My name's Mary Whitman Ortiz. I am a Christian sex educator, relationship coach, and author and speaker. And I love to help couples to create great intimacy in their marriage. Please stay till the end because I have a tool you can start right now to help your marriage. But let's unpack that question. As I said, this is the series, and so today is part one of what do you do when one partner feels unfulfilled in their sex life with their spouse. So you have to know why this is happening. And I think that that very beginning place is husbands and wives have different expectations. As simple as that. And you might be familiar with this because husbands and wives typically approach sexual intimacy with a different motivation and, as we said, with a different expectation. A lot of husbands say that when they have sex with their wife, it creates the intimacy, whereas wives say when they have the intimacy, it creates that open door for sex. Now, you may be saying, okay, Mary, those are at opposing ends. Well, don't stop there because, of course, God uses all kinds of situations, variety in our lives to actually make us stronger and make us closer. But let's unpack this just a little more. Do you know, usually both spouses think the other one knows what's going on. They just assume that their spouse is on the exact same page. And then they get a little aggravated because they're like, well, if my spouse knows what I want, I know what they want, then we should just be, following through this with easy breezy. But when expectations are unspoken, nobody knows. You are not a mind reader. Your spouse is not a mind reader. So being able to put your expectations, to formalize them in your thoughts and be able to put them into words that your spouse can understand and process. Woohoo! That is the sweet spot right there. But actually, that brings me to the last thought about this pushback in husbands and wives and being able to express themselves. Usually that expectation is not expressed because there is a fear. Sometimes we know what the fears are. There could be shame from past sexual experiences, from messages of shame, even within religion, Christian churches. Sex is God's design for marriage, but it can be twisted and misconstrued. And so if that shame is alive and well, unfortunately, that could interfere with feeling like you can be open, you can be transparent. Also, you might be afraid, oh my gosh, if I talk about this, what's my spouse gonna think about me? So even though you're married and you're one, there still might be some uneasiness there. And then there's always the possibility of, what if they reject me? And that's a tough risk to face and to take. So I just have to let you know, God never wants distance and division to stay in your marriage. So how can we get around that? What is that tool that I promised you? Well, I'm super excited to announce that I have the Happy, Healthy Sexually webinar coming up that I would love to invite you to. It's being held on Thursday, November 18th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's free to use. Please check the link below, make sure you register. And when you attend this webinar, you will not only get great information about sexual desires and the differences and how to get on the same page sexually, you will also get a handout that walks you through the entire presentation and gives you journal prompts so you're able to have more conversations with your spouse. Once again, I would love to have you join me. Check that link, and we will be meeting on November 18th, 7 p.m. And the webinar is completely free. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Remember, Father God wants to lavish His love on every area of your life, including sexual intimacy in marriage.